Hi everyone, let's get into it. For this, I decided to use a paper pattern since the main piece is so long. Start by laying it out on your fabric and cutting along the edges of each piece. When you're cutting your pieces out, it's important to make sure you mark the dotted lines onto the wrong side of your fabric if you're going to be doing the version with ruffles like I am. So now you should have 2 front pieces, 2 back pieces, your hat and your hat band. For the removable ruffles, you'll cut 2 ankle ruffles and 2 wrist ruffles. And lastly, 2 neck ruffles. Next, you can cut your elastic pieces. You're gonna need 1 inch for the removable neck ruffle. If you're doing an elastic neckband, you'll need 1/2 inch of elastic for your size, and then 4 pieces of 1/4 inch for the removable ruffles and for the ruffles on the main piece. We're gonna start with our hat. Lay the hat pieces right sides together and sew along the sides and top. I wanted ribbon to come out of the points of mine, so I sandwiched those in between the 2 hat pieces in the little corner, and then sewed along it as well. Now you're going to take your hat band, fold it in half, right sides together, and sew along the short edge. So now you're going to fold the band in half, wrong sides together, and then mark it in quarters. Clip the headband to the outside of the hat opening and then sew along the edges. If you want your hat to be full, just get some polyfill and stuff it, and then your hat is done. Now we're going to start with our body pieces. Put your front pieces right sides together, clip along the edge, and sew. Now you're going to repeat that with your back piece as well. Open up both front and back pieces and lay them right sides together. You're going to clip along the shoulder and upper arm and sew. Next, you're going to clip together your underarms and sides and then sew. You're going to do that for both sides. Following that, clip the center seams of the inside of your leg together as a starting point. Then clip the rest of the inside of your leg pieces together and sew. Next, we're going to do our elastic neck. Fold down the neck by 3/4 of an inch with the wrong sides touching. Pin all the way around to hold in place. Top stitch using a cover stitch machine or a sewing machine to create a casing for the elastic, and then make sure you leave about an inch unsewn to pull your elastic through. Now you're going to pull your elastic through the casing that you just created. Now place the ends of your elastic against one another and sew them. Now go back and top stitch the casing where you left it open to close it. And now this is what the neckline is going to look like. Moving on to our elastic pieces for the wrist and ankle, fold the elastic in half and sew together, creating a circle. Then clip onto the ankle where you marked when cutting out the fabric, and then top stitch very slowly to attach. You're going to do that for both wrists and ankles, and it'll look like this. Moving on to the elastic neck ruffle, you're going to hem the sides of the main neck ruffle and the top neck ruffle. Then you're going to place them on top of each other and pin in place. So at this point, I went ahead and hemmed all of my extra ruffles, and I also did all of my hems for the sleeves and legs. That way, since I decided to lettuce hem, I wouldn't have to change the settings at my serger later. Now the neck ruffle is pinned, you're going to top stitch on both sides of the top ruffle to create a casing for the elastic. Insert your elastic and pull it through the casing. So now you're going to pull the ends of the elastic to the end of the fabric. Clip the ends together and then sew them to create a band. Then your neck ruffle is complete. So for the ankle and wrist ruffles, you're going to pin the elastic in the middle of the wrong side of the fabric to both ends, and then you're going to top stitch, making sure only to stretch the elastic as you go. When you're done, it's going to look like this. Then you're going to fold it together with the right sides of the fabric touching. You're going to pin, and then you're going to sew along the short edge. So they all should look like this. So at its basic, it's going to look like this with no extra ruffles added, no neck ruffle, just the costume. Now putting on the neck ruffle and all of the extra ruffles, it's going to look like this. So this is the completed look. I hope you guys like it and have fun making this pattern.